Hi, my name's Angel Wong. Thanks for joining our session today. We're going to be talking about how to make an Alexa skill on Dexter, which is the company I work for. So Dexter at rundexter.com, we are a platform that lets you create automated conversations for brands, businesses, and agencies. And this is going to be a very hands-on session to really get your brain juices going before you go to the rest of the day full of awesome talks, right? So this is a preview of our platform. We're going to get into it right now. If everyone has a laptop, that'd be great. If you don't have a laptop, you can just follow along with my screen here, and then the rest of the deck and information about how to build this Alexa skill will be sent out afterwards. All right. So I'm assuming everyone here has already been exposed to Alexa before. Obviously, you're at Boys Conference. Who here has built a skill before? Cool, great. And who here has is working on a skill at home or has been trying to build one before? All right, great. So this is awesome. Everyone's first skill. A lot of people will be building a skill for the first time. So if you are following along on the laptop, head on over to rundexter.com. There's a couple of seats in the front, too. All right. Cool. So rundexter.com, rundexter.com. Tristan, do you think it's possible to turn the lights down a little bit or no? All right, I got some mood lighting here. Great. Awesome. So Dexter is a platform that lets you create and manage. Mainly, we focus on chatbots, but we've branched off into allowing our platform to handle Alexa skills as well. We take a writing-first mentality when it comes to crafting a bot or a skill, because we believe that by doing a writing first, you can really build rich, scalable interactions, conversations, right? So I'm assuming everyone's a new user at Dexter, so we'll just create a new account. I'll be following along with you, so don't worry if you get lost at any point, just raise your hand and we'll handle your questions. So crafting an account. Cool. Does everyone have an account? Awesome. All right, so first step done. Hopefully no one's gotten lost yet. Let's create our first bot. Give your bot a name. And then we're going to start entirely from scratch. So we're going to create essentially the hello world of Alexa skills. Really simple skill that takes says hello world back to you, right? So like I said before, our platform takes some writing first mentality to it. So the main screen for the when you get inside the bot brain is essentially an editor, right? We build off of a scripting language called the ReScript. For anyone who's familiar with basic bot scripting before, this is sort of a very well-known ReScript concept and scripting language, and anybody who's had experience with ReScript before, the same concepts apply here. But basic ReScript is similar to keyword matching. So whatever the user says, the bot can respond accordingly, right? So if I said hello, the bot would respond, hi, nice to meet you. So the hello portion of it, what the user says, is what we call triggers here next to the plus signs. And what the bot responds back with, or the skill responds back with, will be the dashes, right? So you can use multiple different responses just by adding to the lines underneath the triggers. Right. So Rescript has a lot of different ways that lets you to formulate responses for your triggers. So if I were to write hello world here, the bot can respond back, hi, voice summit. So right now we're still in the chat world. Later in the demo, we'll show you how this translates to voice when we deploy it onto Amazon Alexa account. So I'm going to test this out in our phone tester to the side. And you'll see, obviously, a response back for what the user said. So when we create a bot on Dexter, we sort of like to say that it's kind of like following a movie script. Whatever the human says, the bot will respond by the next thing they would say in a dialogue. After you've made changes to your script, you can publish it, and it'll essentially save the script for using it later. So now we have what's sort of like the bare bones of a Dexter script here. So let's get on to Alexa. So to deploy a bot onto a specific platform, we go to the Platforms tab, and under Platforms tab, you see a lot of the different platforms you currently support, Messenger, Slack, Twilio. We're here for Alexa today, so if you go to Alexa and go to your Amazon Developer Console, you can create a new Alexa skill into the Developer Console and send over the configurations for that back to Dexter, and we will be able to handle any responses that your Alexa skill sends. So I've already created an account before. If you don't have one already, you can create an account on developer.amazon.com. So I'm going to craft a new skill for the session. It's going to be called Voice Talk. It's going to be a custom skill. So we're inside the Developer Console right now. And the next step for us to do would be to take the invocation name for our skill. So let's say I wanted, the invocation name for anyone who hasn't built into Alexa skill before is the thing you say to Alexa to activate the skill. So for this skill, I'm going to say it's hello world, right? So if I were to say to Alexa, Alexa, open hello world, it would open our skill. Right. This is where we deviate a little bit from how Alexa Alexa skills are traditionally developed. So you may have noticed before in our editor tab that a lot of the things we do are matching based on words, on keywords that the user has said. This is a little bit different from how a traditional Alexa skill, when you develop it, you match based on what the intent of the user has said, right? So one way in which we handle this keyword matching and this intent matching is by turning on this Dexter catch-all mode. So once you turn on this catch-all mode, we provide you a custom configuration that you can copy and paste directly into your Amazon Developer Console, and then use that to map your script straight to what the user says to Alexa. So just copy and paste this section into the JSON editor of your Amazon Alexa skill. So I just want to do a check. Did I lose anyone yet? Yes. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. So if you've copied and pasted in, you should have saved the model, right? It'll make it really nice and clean, essentially. Yes. I'm gonna make the resolution a little bit bigger. Hopefully that'll help. How's this? Better? All right, sorry. Okay. All right, so where were we? We had just copied and pasted the catch-all mode into the Amazon Alexa Developer Console on the JSON Editor tab. This will let us directly understand the words that your user says to Alexa. All right. Next step. Now we need to send over all the information that Alexa receives to us. So you need to copy this URL into the endpoint tab. Let me save one first. All right. In endpoint tab, there's two buttons, HTTPS. Click that, and then select the subdomain. All right. So we save this endpoint. Now we can communicate directly to Alexa. And now we're ready to test. Well, one more thing, actually. We have to copy the application ID into our platform, into Dexter. So you can see, it's this quick shortcut, the application ID is actually in the URL. There's other ways to get it in the developer console as well, but it's also in the URL. So let's copy that straight into the application ID section here. Next. All right, and now we're ready to deploy. So now we're ready to have our Dexter skill live and it's deployed. So moment of truth. We save this endpoint. We go to JSON editor. We need to build the model. This will take a couple of seconds, so don't be concerned. Sorry, I can't tell who's talking right. Can you raise your hand and, right, there we go. The sample utterances? You mean during our catch-all mode section, where, like, how do we craft that JSON? Those sample utterances is sort of like a random collection of words that makes so that the Alexa skill understands a broad range of variations in sentences. If you're interested in the technical details behind it, we can talk a little bit afterwards. Oh, just mean on the platform. So on the platform, after you've toggled on catch-all mode and put the check mark on, this panel will appear. Then when you tap on this panel, you can copy and paste this exact thing into the JSON editor section of your Alexa skill. Great. All right, so this has built successfully. So moment of truth is here. We are going to go to test. We are going to enable the test on our skill. This is a simulator for anyone who hasn't been in the Amazon Developer Console before. This is essentially simulating us talking to an Alexa device. The same Alexa brain exists, and it also has our action preloaded, our skill preloaded. So the name of this skill was Hello World. So Alexa, open Hello World.
This bot created on rundexter.com.
So that is the sample from our script earlier, right? So we have a working script that communicates to Alexa. Now you can imagine that we could start building more rich, interesting scripts besides just something that responds back this bot created on Run Dexter. So for the rest of this demo, I'd like to sort of go through a very, very simple skill that returns back number facts. It makes use of a numbers API to give you interesting facts about numbers. Before we go forward?
I have a question about the invocation. How do you know that nobody else has Hello World as a skill?
So that is not necessarily something that that you know before you create the skill. As someone who has developed Alexa skills before, I would look at the existing Amazon Alexa skill directory and figure out what are popular names that have been used. A lot of the most popular Alexa skills, a lot of the most popular invocation names tend to be taken, so it's important to craft your invocation name so that it's unique. Yeah, this is a fault of being a side effect of building Alexa skills. All right, so a number skill, a skill that this really demonstrates some of the interesting ways that you can handle incoming user input and use that to relay back interesting information to your user. So like I mentioned before, there is an API that already gives us all these number facts. So lucky us, we don't have to create anything that tells us interesting number facts. So the first thing we'd like to do is we'd like to have our user tell us a number. So before we move forward in that, what we should do is have some sort of catch-all that whenever a user speaks to the skill will tell it, hey, if you don't, I am a number skill, and I am going to give you back interesting number facts. So in the ReScript, there's this concept called a catch-all wildcard. Any single time someone says something to the bot that doesn't hit another trigger, it will hit this catch-all, and the catch-all will respond with a general message. So this wildcard character is this catch-all thing. It will handle all incoming user input. So here, this skill will say, hi, I am a number skill. Tell me a number, and I will give you a number fact. I'm just going to erase all the other stuff. It's not relevant to this part of the exercise. Okay. The other thing that we need to do if we're building this kind of skill is that we need to understand when a user says a number, right? We want to be able to take that number and figure out the fact from it. So in ReScript, there's another little syntax that lets you capture numbers. It's this pound sign. That means that there's a number. And then I'm going to couple it with a little more advanced ReScript logic that discards any other non-number number words that the user might say that we're not interested in. So this is essentially a wildcard, like a wildcard optional. We don't care about anything that the user says before or after a number. We only care about the number. We're capturing the number using the pound sign. So, hi, you said the number star. All right. So anything that was captured with the pound sign will be passed into this syntax called star. So I'm going to show you how this looks like here in the phone tester, and then we're going to tweak it a little bit more to make it a little more interesting before we demo again in Alexa. So, hello. And then after that, tell me a fact about 12. So just demonstrating that we have captured the number and we are using the bot to respond back with the number. All right. So now we're going to get really into like the Dexter weeds right now, and we're going to show how you would make requests to existing services out there. So if you want to make an HTTP request, a GET request to this specific API, and for anyone who doesn't quite know how an API works, when you pass it a value, it will respond back with some interesting information, right? So in this scenario, we passed it 42, we get a 42 fact. We pass it 12, we get a fact about 12. So we're doing the same thing here. Instead of doing it in the browser or making that same request inside the script. And then anything that the API gives back, we're going to have our Alexa skill respond back with. So this is some special syntax that lets you parse through what the request is, what the response is of this API. So it lets you take back the full text response and puts it into Alexa skill. Cool. All right, so we are ready to go. We're ready to demo this. This is just 2 trigger script, really simple, not that much that we had to essentially code, but it's going to be it's a very interesting, useful skill, right? So I'm going to refresh this page. Alexa, open Hello World.
Hi, I am a number skill. Tell me a number and I will give you a number fact.
13.
13 is the youngest age a minor can rent or purchase a T-rated game by the ESRB without parental, age 18 or older, consent.
Right. So it's a really simple skill, very, very quick for you to craft, deploy, and then just get live. If you have an Alexa device already paired with your account, then you have a working Alexa skill at home. It took us all of maybe 10 minutes to craft this. A little bit more tweaking if you need to know Rescript concepts, but this is barely scratching barely scratching all the different kind of ways that you could build a script. So on Dexter, we have a lot more documentation about how you can make your scripts a lot more rich and interactive. I hope you check us out, rundexter.com. Is there anyone who's gotten lost in this process? I can answer any questions. Yes? All right. Just quick. Yes. The section you got lost in was this section right here, right? So this JSON editor blob, we've pre-configured an Alexa skill for you. You just copy paste this straight into your Alexa developer console. You copy and paste it on the build tab in the JSON editor left sidebar. If you copy it into it, it will auto populate like this, and you save it and build it. Yes. Yeah. HTTPS and subdomain, right? So in the step-by-step setup, we also have the instructions written. So if you follow the instructions there, they will also emulate exactly what I just said. Yes. All right. If you have other questions about building a skill on Dexter or like how to create more interesting, rich interactions, let me know. We also have koozies on the first table because I know it's hot out, and we have a mixer later, and I hope y'all rock your beers with some cool Dexter koozies. But yeah, like if you haven't crafted a skill before, hopefully I've shown you it's easy enough to do it on Dexter. Thank you.